You don't want George Lucas to come back. You don't want him in control of Star Wars because he's not going to be in control of Star Wars. Within this article by Spencer Bakuli is a statement by the assistant director to A New Hope, basically the first Star Wars movie, if you're not familiar. And he says this. He says, I think he's coming back, he being George Lucas. You know, I'm pretty sure now that he's doing a series. I think that they're bringing him into the fold from what I hear because there's a Star Wars live action series coming and I've got a strong suspicion that George will have something to do with that. That's what I'm thinking it is. I might be prophesizing. He then admitted, that's what I heard and I read, and I don't know anything apart from I'm prophesizing that might happen because you've seen him. He's been physically on the set. He's been very present there. He's been down at the sets and everything. Okay? All right, so the guy could just show up, right? I'm pretty sure that Disney is happy to have set photos taken of George Lucas walking around their productions. I'm pretty sure that makes the stockholders happy that he's at least wandering around going, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, doing that kind of thing. George Lucas is not going to be in control of Star Wars. That's not how this is going to work. If he comes back, they're just going to tag his name in the credits the way that they did the Cowboy Bebop director. If you recall, way back when Netflix tried this, they went back and they did the Cowboy Bebop live action show. They did their own thing, but they tagged the creator director of Cowboy Bebop into this and didn't just showed him their work. They didn't consult him. They said, "Hey, this is what we did," and he said, "This is not in line with what Cowboy Bebop is." And they said, "Great, see you later." And that's exactly what'll happen here. George Lucas's name will be strapped on to whatever new project Dave Filoni has pooped out in the back lots of Disney. And all of a sudden, it's going to have George Lucas's name everywhere. George Lucas is back, everybody. Woo, George Lucas, all right. No, it's not going to happen. You want to know why? Because the Force is still female. What's the Acolyte telling us, huh? They're trying to do a whole new Rey trilogy where she has a female student who's even more powerful than she is. And Rey killed the Emperor, like super easy. She apparently can bring people back to life. Force life. Who knew? Force healing, force lifing, force deathing. Who knows? When you're a woman, the power of the uterus grants you complete control over the Force, apparently. It's limitless. Maybe all the metachlorians are stored in there, huh? Maybe that's how it works. I don't know. I don't have one of those neat little metachlorian catchers, I guess. But I'm just telling you, the Force is female. George Lucas being brought onto this process, onto these products, onto these productions, is not going to change that. Disney is not going to about face. They're not going to do it. We all hoped they would. It would be the smart thing to do. The Saudis tried to buy them out of the property last year, but they said no. It's not going to happen. Dave Filoni even went on to explain that under his command, he had Ahsoka continue on in the series, and it was actually George Lucas's desire to not have Ahsoka survive Order 66. Now, this situation wasn't necessarily meant for her to be gunned down by the other troopers, right? By the Republic troopers, right? This may have been that when she fought Anakin, when he was Darth Vader there toward the end of Rebels, that was meant to happen way back in the Clone Wars, at the end of the Clone Wars. And Anakin was meant to kill Ahsoka in front of Obi-Wan so that Obi-Wan knew that Anakin was beyond redemption or came to the conclusion of it. So that set up Luke to be the Redeemer after Anakin took the life of someone he loved and cared about, right? Okay? Beyond Padme. So again, like this was another repetitive situation where Anakin kills the people he loves, a redemption cycle set up for Luke to fulfill, gone. Just so we could have neat scenes of Ahsoka doing parkour in space, because the Force means nothing anymore. The story means nothing anymore. The bad guys are the bad guys because the show said they are. That's it. Thrawn, right? That's the Thrawn. Sorry, I forgot the Admiral Thrawn. That guy, he's just bad because they made him bad, because they decided he was the bad guy in this series. Go back and look through how he behaves in the show. Not the cartoon show, not the books, not the comics, the actual Disney Plus show. He's barely a villain. He's not even a Power Ranger villain, for goodness sake. He's just a guy that's plotting. He's like Elon Musk if he held his breath too long. That's about it. The zombie troopers is another, like, scooping the bottom of the barrel. We've got no ideas left, so why not zombie stormtroopers? That's spooky and scary, and Ahsoka can chop them up with no trouble, and we won't have to ask the actors to actually learn how to use the lightsabers. We'll just have them wave them around, and we'll speed them up in post. That's what you're dealing with. That's what you're asking George Lucas to come back into and be a part of. He won't be able to change any of this. He'll be another round peg in a square hole like Disney's got going left and right now. And he'll just be a name attached to these properties. Please, let this guy retire and go off and do whatever he wants to do. Honestly, if he wants to go make a rip-off Star Wars like Rebel Moon, let him do it. Maybe he'll accomplish something that can blow Disney out of the water. But please, stop trying to corral this guy back into Disney. It will change nothing, and it will destroy his legacy. Right now, all the good stuff in Star Wars is safely domed under Lucas's legacy, right? Safely sealed inside of Lucas's legacy, right? The good stuff. But you start having his name attached to this new stuff, as in he's a producer, director, writer, consultant, whatever, that stain of this new era starts to take over what was considered the good stuff. Okay? I'm just telling you, let him go. Let him go out and do what he wants. If he just wants to run around Skywalker Ranch in his golf cart, let him do donuts in him. Let him eat donuts while he's doing donuts. He's George Lucas. He's earned it. Okay? I'm sorry that this makes you guys upset. I know that there are people out there that want to believe that George Lucas coming back will just 180 everything, and Mark Hamill will come back, and Carrie Fisher will come back from the dead, and Harrison Ford will stop crashing planes. But no, it's not going to happen. The ship has sailed. The opportunity to do this was before The Last Jedi. There was the opportunity. Oh, we tried, George. We got a bumpy start here. We need your help to iron this Rey thing out and figure out what we're going on, what we're trying to push forward with this new sequel trilogy. All right? But, you know, far be it from me to judge the almighty heads that are spreading rumors like this, okay? I don't believe that George Lucas would take this job again. I highly doubt that he would sign on and say, yeah, sure, I want to be strapped to the sinking ship of Star Wars. I want my name further besmirched. It's not so bad that my name's on the company, but I also want to make sure that I'm also destroyed utterly and totally now. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think George is going to surrender himself like that. For the most part, I think he's there because he's bored. I think he's on set because he's bored. He's a wealthy old man, and there's only so much golf you can play, and there's only so much globetrotting you can do before you kind of over it, you know? So I think he's hanging around because, like, it's stuff that he knows, and he can have Star Wars conversations with familiar faces that he's worked with for the past, you know, bajillion years, you know? So I think that's what truly has him on set. It's not that Disney's like, oh, hey, you want to come back and, you know, get into the feel of it and take over? It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But maybe I'm wrong. You let me know down in the comments what you know that I don't know. But from what I know, George Lucas is not coming back, and that's for the best. You need to let Star Wars die out so something else can take its place. George Lucas is gone from the property. That's the end of the property. I know people want to believe that, oh, Dave Filoni could do a good job writing fan fiction about Star Wars and turning it into TV and movies. But that doesn't work. We saw what happened when you gave free rein to people writing Star Wars fan fiction in 4K with several $100 billion production budgets. We saw what that turned out. A slow chase, and then Poe Dameron getting slapped across the face because he didn't understand the plan that was never explained to begin with. Okay? So there you go. Genius work, right? And then, you know, the Emperor's back somehow. It's fan fiction. It's literally fan fiction. So just let it go is what my advice is. Go out into the world and make your own Star Wars. It's not that hard. With the AI video generation technology right now today, you can make a cutscene from one of the old Star Wars video games with just some loose movement back and forth and some text at the bottom. You can make your own Star Wars adventures. Granted, you can't make money at them. Don't try to do that. That's not right, okay? That's not what I'm advocating. If you want to go make your whole new Star Wars thing like Rebel Moon, but better, feel free. Go for it. 100%. But until then, though, let George Lucas be a fuddy-duddy old man and enjoy the memory of when Star Wars was good. That's my best advice. Collect the prequels, collect the original trilogy, and do your best to forget that the sequel trilogy ever happened. Really. But as always, I'll see you in the next video, and good luck out there.